Okay, so we're going to try to create a website, and basically we're going to make a folder structure. This is kind of our general structure. We'll make it on the H drive or wherever you can keep it so that you can then upload it. It won't be a live website, but it'll work. And we're going to use a development environment called Brackets. It's really simple to use and really pretty powerful. So we're going to start with some source code. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to example.com. This is what it looks like. We can see www.example.com. It's got its URL, and it's pretty simple. It has a link that goes to reserved domain names. We can go back, and we're going to right-click and view the page source. So this is what makes up the web page. We're going to do Control-A, Control-C, and what we're going to do is then open up Brackets. And I have this Brackets default text that shows up. I'm going to get rid of all that and paste what I had in there from example.com. Alright, and I need to save it. Now I need somewhere to save it, so I'm going to make a directory or a folder to put it in. So here's my desktop. I'm going to right click and make a folder. And so when it allows me to, I'm going to make a folder. Okay, I right click and I say new folder, and I'm going to call it website, and anything that I place in that website is going to be accessible. I'm saying that folder. Anything out here, so if I had a file or a picture, that can't be in my website. So you can see right now if I open it up, there's nothing in it, which makes sense. We're going to put something in it. And so I go back to Brackets, and I'm going to do File, and then Save As, and I'm going to call this, it eventually will open up here, I'm going to call it index.html. So I'm going to put it in that folder which I put on the desktop, and I'm going to call it index.html, and that's a special name for this piece. Alright, so it prompted this save as piece. You can see it's in the Brackets folder by default. I do not want it there. I want to put it in my website, which is on my desktop. So I click on my desktop, and it's going to then, hopefully, if this computer will speed up, show me that website folder that we just created, and go from there. Okay, so my window finally popped up. I'm on my desktop. I'm going to click in website, and I'm going to call this index.html. I have to add the HTML file extension for this to work, and so I'm going to hit save. And we can see here now at the top I have the file path, right? This is a local file. If I look in the desktop, so look in here, I now have that index, and it shows up in this case as a Chrome icon because that's my default browser. And then there's two options here to open this. One is to double click on this or right click and say open with Chrome. One advantage to Brackets is that we don't have to do that. We have this little icon over here, this little, it looks like a N or a lightning bolt or whatever. It's a live preview. If you click on that, it's going to eventually open up, it's going to turn color and open up a Chrome window in this case, and give us a live preview of what our website looks like. So you can see that it's starting here. It takes it a second, especially the first time, and then we'll see if it pops up. So it's showing up here on my other screen, and it's taking a second to load, and voila, we have the exact same thing that we had before. Now the difference is this is a local file. You can see it's not www, right? Remember, this was example.com. This is what it looks like. This is live, hosted on a server. This is on my actual machine, which means that I can change this. So this file is changeable because it's right here. So I'm going to actually make this a little bit smaller so we can kind of see what's happening here as we go through this. Alright, so I'm going to look for some pieces here, and I see example domain. I'm going to ignore a bunch of this stuff and go down here, and then I'm going to have this piece and this H1 tag, which is a header. I'm going to call this my web page, and then I'm going to hit Control S to save it. We can see that that has updated it. Okay, I'm going to then let's change this to my home page, and save again, and then it changes it again. I want to look down here at this link. Okay, so let's see if we can find that. I see here that I have this href. Okay, this is the actual link that shows up on the more information page. So if I look at some more information, you click it, it takes you here. If I change this to be let's just say google.com, save it, and then if I click on this, we can see it didn't find it. Let's see what happened here. If we actually go to google.com, alright, I'm missing the hypertext protocol at HTTPS piece. So let me copy that actual link, put that in. And you're going to make mistakes as you start to go through this. Let's go back, and there's my local file, and now it takes me to the Google page that I was just at. So this is an external link. I have the ability to also put in my own links to my own subpages. So I'm going to make a page, and I'm going to call that new page, I'm going to call it, since we're talking about Scratch program, I'm going to call it scratch.html. Now, and then I'll say something like this for Scratch projects, and save that. Now, this is not going to exist at this point, so let's go back. Right, I haven't made that file yet, so it's going to look in the website folder, it's going to look for scratch.html. I'm going to go back to example.com. Control A, Control C. I'm going to go into brackets, and I'm going to make a new file, paste it. I'm going to save as, and now in the same folder, so in my desktop, and I look down at my website, and I'm going to call this scratch.html. And now it exists in that folder. So what this is going to do is when I go back here, where did my page go? Here's my local file, and refresh it, and it found it, right? So there's my home page, and now it clicks on Scratch. I can now change that Scratch page to be my Scratch projects. So I'd say Scratch projects. Save it, go back, and now I have a link to a local file, which is a Scratch project. If I wanted to, probably on my Scratch project, I would need to go home, right? I want to get back to my home page. I would say, what's it called? Index.html. And I would say home page. Save it. And now when I click on home page, it takes me back to my home page. So now I have something that goes back and forth between those two. And that should do it for now.